Fat woman. Oh my god, why did I do that? So basically, there was this woman, yeah. It was zoomed in on like her upper half, and like we get it, you know. First of all, I thought, damn, John Morgan's transition, you know what I mean? But
Alright, so I definitely did not have Nina Drama calling out the MMA Guru on my 2024 bingo card, but hey, here we are. Guys, reality really is stranger than fiction, especially in this wild world of MMA. Let's just get right into it, shall we? So yesterday, the UFC 307 pre-fight press conference took place, and I thought it was some pretty standard affair sort of stuff. Really, the crux of this very strange, very bizarre beef has to do with this specific reporter who appears about halfway through the press conference, and honestly, I've been watching the UFC since 2008, but I have never seen this lady before in my life. And after doing some research into her based on Nina's call out of the MMA Guru, I learned that her name is Amy Kaplan, and she's a roaming editor for fansided MMA.com, and yeah, truth be told, I have never heard of this publication before in my life either. Anyways, I watched the press conference while it was streaming, and if you want me to be real, I didn't think much at all of Amy's segment.
Everybody this week has been talking about Kayla, when she's gonna become champion. Do you think you're being overlooked?
While I was watching, I just saw this as yet another generic, boring question that we've all heard a million times now. However, MMA Guru seems to have interpreted this part of the press conference way differently than I did. Just check out what he said about Kaplan on his most recent video, where he gave his general takes and reaction to the event.
but then it was like, and now we zoom out so you can see it in all it like. The cameraman was like, I could hear him laughing behind the camera almost, trying to hold back a laugh, saying like, I think he said something like, nah, you guys got to see this shit, as she was in the middle of her question. Crazy, diabolical work from the cameraman. Pathetic, not cool. I would never make fun of it. That's lame to me. A cameraman should be ashamed of himself.
Okay, I just want to say, because of this drama that's unfolded, I've watched this clip like 5 times now, and honestly, I really don't see this as the cameraman trying to make fun of Kaplan at all. I mean, for most of the questions that were asked throughout this media event, we did see the camera cut back to the journalists more than just a couple of times. Like, I really don't get the impression that the cameraman or the UFC broadcast team in general was trying to single her out, but I don't know, I'm just one guy, maybe you guys see it differently than I do. And going back to MMA Guru's video, he does kinda subtly make fun of Amy's appearance and just mocks the entire situation as a whole, but at least in my opinion, I don't think that what he said in the video was all that bad, at least by his own standards. Like, Guru is known far and wide to pop off and say some out-of-pocket things from time to time, and even though I personally wouldn't make fun of a woman for being overweight, let's be real here, we've all heard him say way crazier things than this. And to be honest, as far as MMA Guru roasts go, this is actually pretty tame. I mean, it's not like he made a 1-hour video hypothesizing how much she weighed to the nearest pound while also making fun of her tattoos, while also psychoanalyzing her mannerisms. And maybe I feel this way because I'm so conditioned to hearing him say some of the most craziest out-of-pocket stuff I've ever heard in my adult life, but again, at least to Guru's standards, this doesn't even crack the top 20 of disrespectful moments from his videos. Now, I will say this, even though I don't think that what he said on his video was really all that bad, I do think it was a little bit of overkill to make a follow-up tweet where he once again ridiculed her appearance and subtly implied the situation to be some sort of elaborate joke on Kaplan, which is exactly what he did. Here's the tweet that he made, and as you can see, it's not like he outright makes fun of her, but come on, man, we all know what he was doing here. Like, the fact that he even took the time to tweet this is pretty indicative that he's trying to make fun of her, at least a little bit, and when I jumped into the replies, I saw that people definitely picked up on him taking a jab at her. Then after a couple of hours, Nina publicly responded to the MMA Guru's tweet, and I gotta say, she definitely went in on him a little bit. I'm not gonna read her entire message because it's long as hell, but she starts off strong by calling him a clout-chasing vermin, and then she immediately acknowledges that she herself has played to her own gimmicks in order to grow her own platform online. Then she calls him an indecent, despicable person for making fun of Kaplan's appearance, and then she also says that tweets like this are why the Guru will never progress out of doing online interviews from his basement, and she immediately follows this up by saying that he prostitutes himself to his viewers for donations that don't even cover a Zoom premium account. Like, what the fuck? Does she even know how much this guy makes in a standard stream through donations? Anyways, and then she basically ends this tweet by writing a couple of sentences hammering down how terrible of a person she thinks that he is, and she mentions that employees at the UFC are aware of who he is and he has a bad reputation over there because of the content that he makes. Yeah, so clearly Nina didn't hold back on this one at all, and I noticed that Amy Kaplan herself responded to Nina and thanked her for her support, so it seems apparent apparent that Kaplan saw Guru's original tweet and probably felt some way about it. But when it comes to Nina's tweet, I can respect that she acknowledges that she leverages her looks and knowingly plays up her personality in order to further her career. But with that being said, I do find it a little bit hypocritical that Nina is calling out MMA Guru for saying what he said about Kaplan. Meanwhile, she has a close personal friendship with Sean Strickland, who, let's be real here, says some pretty wild things himself. I mean, I'll let you be the judge on who you think says more offensive stuff, because obviously that's a matter of opinion, but I'll say this: when it comes to saying out-of-pocket stuff, MMA Guru and Strickland are on a pretty comparable level. My point here is that it seems a bit strange that Nina is disgusted by what Guru said about Amy. Meanwhile, earlier this year, Sean tweeted this where he makes fun of fat people, so is the line that's drawn here simply that Amy is her friend? Also, I'm not going to go as far to say that Nina is prostituting herself for views like what she said about Guru, but I will say that she's clearly leveraging her friendship with Sean for content. I mean, I'm sure they genuinely are friends, I don't doubt that, but much like how we all know what MMA Guru is doing by posting his tweet, we all know what Nina is doing by boosting her career through her relationship with Strickland. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's just good old-fashioned networking at the end of the day, but to take such a moral issue with Guru's tweet about her friend and completely overlooking all of the controversial statements that Strickland has made seems blatantly hypocritical and maybe even disingenuous to me. Also, on the topic of money, which I don't believe in pocket watching or anything, but seeing as Nina calls out how little she thinks MMA Guru makes from his channel and live streams, I gotta say, I think she might be pretty misinformed with how much money a channel of his size makes. Like, I'm not gonna speculate on how much his video uploads are making him each month, but I'll say this: if Nina just spent 1 hour in one of his live streams, then she will learn that this guy is making much more in just 1 hour of talking to his chat than the price of Zoom Premium. And although I do think that it's tacky to compare how much money two working adults make, but if MMA Guru and Nina went band for band, I find it very hard to believe that Nina earns more in a year than Guru does. And maybe she does, I really have no idea. The real point here is that I think she is vastly underestimating how much these big streamers make a year. Alright, that's basically my thoughts on the matter. On one hand, I don't agree with making fun of people for how they look. And of course, I find it ironic that Guru made fun of Kaplan's appearance when in reality they kinda look a little bit similar, not gonna lie. But on the other hand, it does feel pretty dishonest and insincere of Nina to take such a moral issue with Guru's comments when she's clearly financially hitched her wagon to Sean Strickland. And let's be real here, guys, if Sean Strickland made that exact same tweet, there is no way that Nina would have publicly called him out for it the way that she did here with Guru. With all this being said, I don't think that either Nina or Guru are necessarily in the right here, but in Nina's desire to take the moral high ground, she unintentionally put a spotlight on her own hypocrisy. Anyways, that's the video for today. Definitely let me know what you think about Nina calling out Guru for being a despicable human being. Her words, not mine. Do you think it's hypocritical for Guru to be making fun of someone's weight and appearance, or do you think it's hypocritical for Nina to be taking issue with someone's offensive comments given her friendship with Sean Strickland? As always, if you liked the video, then like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.